I just want to start off by saying that this is the best reunion that I have ever seen. Like, it was really good. Every emotion that you could possibly have, I felt during this. And so I'm just going to go ahead and get right to it. I know there's going to be things that I leave out, but I'm just going to hit on the important parts. It picks right up where it left off in the last part of a reunion where Fred's walking out and he's greeting the ladies. And he is just such a professional and he is such a gentleman. And they get straight to the point. Wendy's asking him, basically she's saying, how did you feel when Kelly was disrespecting you and talking to you crazy? And I feel like on the inside, what he really wanted to say was, well, I wanted to knock that hoe out, but the cameras were rolling and I didn't want to go to jail, so like I decided not to do that. Anyways, him being the professional that he is, he basically says, I was feeling some type of way, but I also felt like she was trying to see if I could bring these emotions out of her. And Kelly is just sitting there, just agreeing, and yeah, and I hate that her makeup was so pretty because I just wanted to hate her the whole time, but I couldn't because she looked gorgeous. Whatever. Anytime there was any conflict, Kelly put everything on the producer. She didn't own up to any of her mess, any of it. And that's how I know she's lying. She's booked. And that's pretty much what happened. Now, Wendy, she did an excellent job. They also touched on the fact that Kelly was being shady towards Little Mo, both on screen and off screen, because it sounds like Little Mo and Kelly were developing a really good relationship, and Kelly just played her for a fool, basically, after that. And Little Mo, she gets all emotional and all that jazz, but that's just her. I don't know. But yeah, Lil Mo just starts telling the truth about things. And then she also says, and I think Wendy touched on it too, how disrespectful she was to Fred. And Little Mo's like, I wouldn't talk to my husband like that. And I just thought it was really important for them to bring that up, to let Kelly know it's not okay to, talk to a grown man that way. And I know that Kelly really does that in real life and that she is that way. It's been confirmed personally from some people that work with her and sing with her and things of that nature, but also just because she didn't make any excuses for it, like for her, that the actions that we saw. Like, I don't know, you guys, I'm not here for Kelly. And pretty much Little Mo just goes in on her about her being booked. But not really being booked, because as Little Mo said, none of us were hot. None of us on the radio prior to this show, so we weren't booked, clearly. And that was pretty much all that needed to be said. Wendy you know what, Kelly should have took notes, because Wendy dismissed Fred in such a respectful way. I just wanted to be like, Kelly, that's how you ask somebody to leave, because you're done. You've gotten what you need from them. You don't disrespect them. You don't get in their face, a grown man's face at that. You just say, thank you. We don't need you anymore. You can exit stage right or stage left, whichever way you want to go. Wendy did that. And then Wendy gets just extra messy. And this is actually where it starts to change from the Shade Fest. And it cuts to the actual Not Your Mama logs with Kelly. And I want to say, I'm going to give it to her, because although, yes, it looked like it was in the church's basement, and it did look like they just had some cloth thrown up on the wall, it showed a really emotionally charged scene where Kelly basically is being molested, and she was 3. Now, I've never experienced a traumatic situation like that. My earliest memories might be from 4 or 5, maybe 3. I don't know if you can remember stuff when you're that young, but I guess if it's that traumatic, you can. So then I'm sure she does. And no, I'm not saying that she wasn't really molested, because clearly she was, and quite a few of the ladies on the stage was. And it was just, yeah, I actually teared up. Not from her scene, but from when Lil Mo started to cry. I was like, oh, shoot. But anyways, we get to see Kelly's Kelly's scene when she is reenacting what happened. Basically, one of her family members used to molest her every single day and pretty much would just tell her that this was going to happen. Sounded like for the rest of your life. And then also, the way it was played out was the church's mime team. They, you guys, you can't tell me that that wasn't the mime team from her church. I'm sorry. Like, it was just low budget, but it was very touching. I'm not laughing at the situation because that's not funny, but I'm just laughing at Kelly, and I don't know. I feel like whatever. Anyways, so there's that dramatic scene, and then Kelly breaks out with the song Sometimes I Feel Like a Motherless Child, which was from Tyler Perry Play. So, and then it gets real because Little Mo, she's so real, y'all. She busts out crying, and then Kelly starts crying. I don't like to see people cry. Like, I just don't. Even if you're like my enemy, I don't want you to cry because I want everybody to feel good. I don't like people to hurt. So all of them just start crying. And little Mo, she was so sincere. She was like, this was supposed to be all of us. And this was supposed to be all of us doing this together, testifying to people. Lil Mo is so church, y'all. You can't tell me that she's not saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, and water baptized. Like, everything she says is just church to me. But she just got really real. And I don't know, it kind of made me see Kelly in a different light too, because then they start to say, well, maybe this is why she has such a hard demeanor and exterior. It's because of what she went through from, a very young age and how she had to kind of put up that guard or whatever. But you can't use the past as an excuse. Baby, you got to deal with that and you got to move on. And you can't hold other people accountable for something that they didn't even have to deal with. You can't go around treating people horrible. You can't disrespect people. We're supposed to treat people good. And we're supposed to be the light of Christ. I'm just saying, as a Christian, that's what I believe. I know that she is the praise and worship leader at her church. And so I just feel like as a leader, as a woman, as a Christian, as a believer in Christ, like you she's just so stink, and you're not supposed to be that way, because I know I've said that I will never support her music again. And I know we're supposed to be able to forgive people and things of that nature, and she ain't done nothing personally to me, but like, and I, yeah, whatever. But I just feel like a lot of people have said that. And it's like the way you're acting. And Shantae was right. She said, they can only use what you give them. And she gave them so much negativity, the producers that is. And so that is what they put out there. And you are supposed to be a woman of God, and you're supposed to be love, and you're supposed to show light, but you gave them all of this material to work with to turn people totally away. And what if, I hate to get deep, you guys, but what if a person was thinking about coming to Christ, coming to God, establishing, getting saved, basically? What if they were, and then they saw this Christian woman, this self-proclaimed Christian woman on TV, and they saw the way she acted, and they're like, why would I want to be a part of that? That's not attractive. Like I was telling somebody, we have to be aware at all times. We have to be on our guard with the way that we portray ourselves. But at the same time, what's in you is going to come out. So if you got negativity, and if you have nastiness and hate in your heart, that's going to come out, and you need to deal with it. And you need to deal with it because you don't know, you're holding up somebody else's blessing. And I believe that at the end of the day, we're going to be held accountable for that. And so I know I say a lot of things like, about Kelly or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's just because I just feel like she has such a platform, and it's a big responsibility, and she could be using this for something so positive, and her story is so incredible. And I totally feel where Little Mo is coming from. She didn't go that deep, but yeah, it's like, it's not about you, because I feel like life isn't about you. It's about being able to bring somebody else out. Look at me. Whew, I'm about to cry and go in, y'all. Let me move forward. Ooh. Okay. Y'all, I'm sorry, but it gets real sometimes. Pretty much, we find out that almost all the ladies have been molested and that they have dealt with stuff like that. And the show just totally takes a turn. The spirit of Drake comes in, that emotional spirit, and it just touches everybody, and everybody just kind of goes in. The spirit of Drake just had his way. That's all I'm gonna say. And once again, never tell Lil Mo your business, because she'll just spill all the beans. The show, that emotional part ends, and then Wendy cuts to Michelle A. She wants to talk about plastic surgery. And I think that the show's going to perk up and all of that again. And no, it doesn't. The way that Michelle A explained it, she said she hadn't had surgery in I think it was 12 years. 10 or 12 years, something like that. And she, says that she had her nose done. And the reason why she had her nose done was because one of her exes had hit her and it was crooked and they had to fix it. And we all immediately think it's Suge Knight. But Michelle A pretty much lets it be known. She accidentally slips and she couldn't, take that back. And we find out that Dr. Dre was the one that was beating her. She was talking about how she used to go to video shoots and, she had black eyes and all the makeup and stuff they would have to put on her to cover it. And my heart broke for her because I feel like she hasn't dealt with it yet, completely. She's still covered up, for him. And I'm gonna say I used to want a pair of Beats by Dre's, but I'm good. I can't support that. I don't think that women should go hitting on men, which is why I feel like Kelly was out of place to get all up in Fred's face. But at the same time, just because, a woman might get in your face, that doesn't give you the right to hit them. People should not hit people at all, unless you try me. But, on the real, Michelle A, she was just making excuses for it. I have a big spot in my heart for her through all this because I want her to realize how valuable and how important she is, and I want her to deal with that. I feel like Michelle A is going to be on the episode of Fix My Life. And then Kelly says that she wants to get plastic surgery. I think she says she wants her boobs done, but So moving on. Then Kelly, pretty much, she announces that she is going on a tour with Brownstone, Kiki Wyatt, Shantae, and Dawn. And Little Mo and Michelle A looks kind of offended. And Wendy was like, Little Mo, she was asking her basically was she pressed about it. Mo was like, no, because those are all has-beens. I mean, that's pretty much what Little Mo was saying. I don't think Shantae Moore is a has-been, but I mean, she's not on the radio. So, and I do think that Little Mo has she can do something. I don't know. I feel like Little Mo is gonna be the next Tamar Braxton, and her career is really gonna take off. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe Kelly's gonna move to RnB Divas Atlanta. I don't know. Can you imagine next season a season with Kelly and Nikki Gilbert in one cast? You know what? This sets up the season of RnB Divas Atlanta. The next season is going to be a mess because imagine how Monifa and Selena feel because they're not going on tour. I bet it's going to be some drama on RnB Divas Atlanta, and I'm excited to watch it. Oh, and Faith Evans is also going on that tour with them. So yeah, pretty much the ladies all say that they will definitely be back for a season 2, except for Kelly. She doesn't agree to it. And personally, Kelly is shady and she does things behind the scenes. So I feel like the reason why she's not agreeing to it is because she already knows that either she's going to be on RnB Divas Atlanta or something. I still don't trust her. But you guys let me know what you think. Sorry if I got a little bit emotional during a part of this. That wasn't my intention, but I just got to keep it real. So, yeah. You guys have a great night, or day, or morning, or whenever it is that you watch this.